Hey there, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a story that's both unbelievable and deeply frustrating. It's about how winning a lottery changed my life, and not always for the better. So grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's dive right in. It all began on an ordinary Tuesday morning. I, Jake Thompson, a 28-year-old graphic designer, was sipping my coffee and scrolling through my phone when I saw a notification about the lottery. I had bought a ticket on a whim, not thinking much of it. But that day, my life flipped upside down. I scratched the ticket and saw those magical words, "Congratulations, you Sid won $2 million." At first, disbelief washed over me. I jumped up, heart racing, and did a little victory dance in my living room. I could hardly breathe. My dreams of opening my own graphic design business suddenly felt achievable. I envisioned a studio filled with creativity, laughter, and a team of talented designers working together. My very own space where I could bring my ideas to life. But then I thought about my family. My parents, Tom and Linda, had always been supportive, but their focus had always been on my sister, Emily, the golden child. She was the epitome of success, always excelling in academics and sports, landing a prestigious scholarship at a top university. Her achievements were celebrated with elaborate family gatherings, while my artistic pursuits were often dismissed as mere hobbies. I still remember the countless family dinners where Emily would regale us with stories of her accomplishments. My parents would hang her awards on the wall like trophies, while my art pieces were tucked away in the attic, gathering dust. I often felt like a ghost in my own home, overshadowed by my sister's brilliance. I decided to share the news of my lottery win with my family, thinking they'd be just as thrilled as I was. That night over dinner, I took a deep breath and announced I won the lottery, $2 million. For a moment, silence enveloped the room. My parents exchanged glances, and then my dad spoke up. "Jake, this is incredible, but have you thought about Emily's college expenses? She deserves your help more than anyone else." My heart sank. I was planning to use the money to start my business, I replied, trying to maintain my excitement. But my mom chimed in. "It's your duty to help family, especially your sister. She's worked hard." I felt the walls closing in. "You mean to say I should give her my winnings just because she's your golden child?" The tension escalated rapidly. Emily, who had been quiet until then, shouted, "You're being selfish, Jake. I've always been there for you. It's only fair." I felt my blood boil. "I'm not being selfish. I want to build something for myself." The argument spiraled out of control. My parents' faces turned red with anger. "You'll regret this. If you don't help your sister, we'll cut you off." Those words hit me hard. I had always feared being disowned, but now it felt like a reality. I stormed out of the dining room, needing space to think. In my room, I reflected on all the times I had been overlooked. There was the time I won a local art competition in high school. I had poured my heart into that piece, yet my parents had barely acknowledged my achievement. Instead, they planned a grand celebration for Emily when she made the varsity soccer team. During my college years, while I was studying late into the night, Emily would call home, filling my parents with tales of her adventures, her parties, and her friends. They would laugh and rave about her social life, while I often felt like an afterthought. I could count on one hand the number of times my work was discussed at the dinner table. A few days passed, and I hoped things would cool down. But then my parents began reaching out to the rest of the family. I was bombarded with messages from relatives, all calling me selfish for not supporting my sister. It felt like a coordinated attack. I decided to block them all. I didn't need their negativity. I had just been gifted an opportunity of a lifetime, and I wasn't about to let it slip away because everyone else thought they had a say in my life. But the drama didn't end there. One evening, I heard a knock on my door. When I opened it, there stood my parents and Emily, looking furious. "We need to talk," my dad shouted. I let them in, and the tension was palpable. "You need to give Emily the money for college," my mom insisted, her arms crossed defiantly. "No," I replied firmly. "I am not your bank." Emily rolled her eyes, shouting, "It is your responsibility to help your family." I felt my blood boil. "You think I owe you anything after all the times I've been neglected? You've always favored her. I was the one who struggled for attention. At that moment, I unleashed everything I had bottled up for years. I've always been invisible in this family. You celebrate her every win while I'm left in the shadows. You think I owe you this money? You never valued me. The room fell silent, and for the first time I saw shock in their eyes. Emily's face twisted in anger. You're just jealous. You always have been. No, I'm just tired of being treated like a second-class citizen in my own home, I yelled back. My parents stood there, stunned. Now, if you don't leave, I'll call the cops, I warned, my voice steady. They turned to leave, but my dad shot back, we'll cut you off. I took a deep breath, feeling a surge of empowerment. Fine, you can cut me off. I'm done being your punching bag. That was it. They stormed out, leaving me alone in my home once more. The moment felt liberating. It was the first time I had truly stood up for myself. Days turned into weeks, and the tension settled. I poured my energy into my business plan, working late into the night. I secured a small space to rent. Filled with inspiration from my favorite artist, I began networking with other designers, attending workshops, and creating a portfolio that showcased my unique style. My family never reached out again, and honestly, it felt like a weight had been lifted. I was free to pursue my dreams without the shadow of favoritism hanging over me. Fast forward a year, and my business is flourishing. I've built a talented team, created a brand I'm proud of, and even started mentoring young artists who remind me of myself. My parents and sister, they might see my success on social media, but I've stopped caring what they think. Caught up in my new life, I often reflect on that chaotic night. While it was painful, it was also necessary. I learned that family doesn't always mean unconditional support. Sometimes you have to prioritize your own dreams and well-being. Now, as I sit here today, I can confidently say that winning that lottery was just the beginning of my true journey. I'm living proof that it's never too late to reclaim your narrative. Thanks for listening to my story. If you've ever felt overshadowed or pressured by family, let me know in the comments below. Remember, it's okay to prioritize yourself and your dreams. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this one. Until next time.